What's happening, my YouTube peeps? In this video, hey, let's talk about the powerlifting meet. How about it? Let's talk about how I led myself up to the powerlifting meet. Let's talk about the day of. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do it! So, yeah, first and foremost, I did get a haircut just now. But anyways, let's talk about the meet. What did I do preparing for the meet? Well, for like at least 5-6 months, I had this meet in mind. Since 2011, November or December, I started training with this meet in mind. I trained with the Jim Wendler 531, powerlifting, hypertrophy style kind of training. Really bumped up my maxes. I worked my way up to a 465 squat, a 475 dead, and a 330 bench. Though in me, I felt like I had 340 or even 350. But when it came to the meet, I had to drop a few pounds to make it to the 181s. I was in the mid 180s when I started to drop my carbs. I took my carbs from 425, brought it down to 325 for just a little bit of time. Within a couple days, I was like, damn, that's just too low. Brought it up to 350 for a few days. I even had a day where I hit 181 pounds like 4 or 5 days before the meet. Interestingly, after that, I was like, screw it. Went to an all-you-can-eat buffet with my dad at Red Hawk. They have an all-you-can-eat buffet. That was because I was just like, yeah, I have it easy. I can definitely hit 181s. Rest assured, I didn't pig out there. I only had like 2 plates. I actually got sick when I was there. I just couldn't eat anymore. But anyways, 3 days out. So for Wednesday and Thursday, I did a liquid diet because I was going to weigh in on Friday. Did my liquid diet at 425 carbs per each day on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, didn't drink anything, didn't eat anything until the weigh-ins. Weighed in at 179. So I had plenty of room, no sweat. It was not hard for me to hit 181 weight class. After that, we went to this sushi, all-you-can-eat sushi place. After weighing in, went to Subway, had a big-ass sandwich. Had like 2 cups of soda instantly, tons of water, at least what I thought was a lot of water. And I chilled with the 3DMJ crew. In actuality, I don't think I drank enough water. I saw all my buddies pounding down Gatorade, Pedialyte, and all this stuff with electrolytes. And I was drinking soda, drinking water, and I'm just like, hey, this is weird, this is interesting. Apparently, after dehydrating yourself, you should really replenish electrolytes. I learned it the hard way. So next time, I'll definitely drink a full-ass bottle of Pedialyte and or Gatorade immediately after my weigh-ins, restore electrolytes, rehydrate myself properly, because after the weigh-ins, I don't think I made up for the amount of liquid that I would have drank in a regular day. I just kept on drinking my normal amount of liquid as if I didn't, dehydrate myself all day. So, that didn't set myself up for success on Saturday, that's for sure. But anyways, after weigh-ins, we went to the all-you-can-eat sushi place where we all had shitloads of carbs, talking 300, 400, 500 grams worth of carbs, but not a ton of water. I did not drink enough water to set myself up for success the next day. I just screwed up horribly. Even guys like Eric who dehydrated a ton of water, he replenished himself so much that the next day he felt fine. And a lot of the guys did the same exact thing. They really had to, dehydrate themselves to make their weights, and then they replenished themselves successfully. They felt fine the next day. Me, on the other hand, the next day, as soon as I started warming up, I knew something was up. It just felt a little off. My body was really warm, really hot, and it was not a good feeling, with 135 on my back, yet it felt like 185. When I had 225 on my back, it felt like 275. It's not the best feeling, but I wasn't trying to be a bitch, so I just went with it. Stuck with my original openers that I wanted to begin with. And let's watch a little bit of footage and see how the squat went. Okay, let's go. Here you're looking at my last warm-up. All throughout the warm-ups for squats, my mouth felt drier and drier by the minute. It was really weird. And when I hit this 365. It felt so heavy and slow for some reason. My first actual attempt came up. You're looking at 420 for one. Everyone's egging me on in the crowd. It felt much harder and much slower than it actually, looks here in the video. Here we go. Seems to go up without too much problem, but it actually felt like shit. Here you're looking at 465, which is my gym PR. I figured, hey, I should be able to hit this shit easily, right? Keep in mind, I felt like I was in the worst conditions possible. Extremely hot room compared to my regular gym. Sweating like a freaking dog here. Felt like utter shit. Here we go. Screw it, right? Let's just do it, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. Here we go. Go for it. And it wasn't happening. It was not happening. After that, I went to the Scott guy. I was like, hey, Scott, leave it at 465. I want to try it again. Took a piss. Went around. By now, my mouth was real dry. I mean, it was hard for me to be able to keep myself hydrated properly because at the same time, I couldn't bet on being able to use the bathroom when I wanted because you have to go at certain times. So it's kind of an interesting dilemma at a powerlifting meet. I mean, you have to lift at certain times, and you have to structure everything around it. You have to structure your warm-ups, drinking water, eating, pooing, pissing, whatever. And, no one's going to actually wait for you. If, you aren't there, you aren't there. And that's just the way it is. You only have a certain amount of time to hit your lift. Anyways, after this, Eric pretty much was like, Matt, let's try the leg wraps. Let's just see what happens. I know you don't train with leg wraps, but imagine they're not even on you. I'll have Alberto put them on you after a set. And, just forget they're there and hit your 465 like it's nothing. Let's do it. So this is what happened. All right, y'all. Now on this one, I made really, really sure to obey all squat commands. I made sure to stand up straight before stepping back instead of stepping back while standing up. It's a big mistake I made on the first attempt. I also see what happens here. Also made sure to stand there, for a good 2 seconds before the rack command. All right, guys. Next was bench press after squat. I felt really good. I was like, hey, I at least matched my gym PR. Let's really kill this bench press, baby. So warmed up my upper body like I normally do with my little drills and stuff. We started warming up on the bench press. Interesting, you can't always count on the conditions being the same as your home gym, like I said. So get to the bench press, and it's kind of one of those squishy ones. So I was like, yeah, it's not horrible, but it's much worse than my gym conditions. Warmed up, 135, 185, 225, 265. Thanks a lot to Coach Eric, who helped me decide when to do what warm-ups. I'm like, hey, should I do 265 now? He's like, no, give it about 5 minutes. Give it about 5 minutes. We're still waiting for our flight. He goes in different flights, flight A, flight B, flight C, flight D, just to help organize things better. So when it was time for me to warm up, he helped me. So I really appreciate that from him. Anyways, first attempt. By then, my mouth was really dry. Like I said before, really dry-mouthed, really, really hot. But I was really excited because my warm-ups felt very, very strong. So first attempt, 305. Let's see what happens. All right, guys, 305 pounds here. One interesting thing is, okay, first of all, this bar is different from my home gym bar. So automatically different, it's kind of weird. But this bar was even different from the warm-up bar. So that really kind of got me confused of where to put my damn hands. And I'm sure a lot of people were sort of confused, not being used to this kind of bar. 305 went up easy. Next one I wanted was 330. The one after that I wanted 350. So here's attempt 2, going for 330 pounds. Like before, I was like, shit, I don't really know exactly where to put my hands because all the grooving is different from my home gym bar and even the warm-up bar. Kind of a squishy pad, but hey, you gotta deal with what you got. And I seriously thought I would have had this one, grinding this bitch out. I was so freaking close, but as you can see, did not get it, no sir. And here I was like, you know what, I got this shit. Screw it, boy. I was like, 330, you're mine, bitch. So I decided to use a little bit narrower grip, just slightly narrower. I knew I had this one. I wasn't gonna let this one crush me. I said, hell no. I will let myself die. And as you can see, got it. But red flags, baby. My ass came off the bench. Oh well. Alright, after bench press, I felt good. I hit 330 even though my ass came off the bench. Obviously, it sucks not having 330 as my my meat lift. I had to settle with 305, but it is what it is. It felt good that I could hit 330 under, the conditions that I felt like I was in. So in one way, I felt really accomplished when it came to the bench press. After that came the deadlift. And of course, there's a little bit of time between each lift. Try to eat like a little bit of food, try to rehydrate a little bit. Though at that time, it felt weird to rehydrate too much because then I had to go pee just because from how excited, anxious, nervous I was. Kind of, lines in the bathroom. So conditions are nothing like your regular gym. And I'm sure some powerlifting meets are really, really insane. I'm sure some are not too far from your home gym conditions, but this felt really different from my home gym, especially just the way I felt dehydrated. Anyways, move on to the deadlift. During the warm-ups, the actual lifting felt fine. My body felt like shit, but the lifts themselves, they seemed strong, they seemed powerful, slightly less than, what I would want, just slightly, but I felt like I could have still pulled 500. At least that's what was in my mind. I was really telling myself, Matt, quit being a bitch. You didn't get your squat goal. You didn't get your bench goal. At least you could hit 500. Come on, man. So I was really, really, really on myself really hard that I really wanted this 500. It was funny, actually, warming up for the deadlifts. There were times when I was like, guys, I need to take a shit now. And I would walk to the bathroom, and there was a line, and I was like, fuck. So I just walked it off. Tried to burp, because sometimes when I burp, it relieves a little bit of stomach, just relieves a little bit of pressure, and I won't have to take a dump right then and there, or maybe it'll help relieve a fart. I don't really know what the hell's going on, but for me, that's just what happens. So I went around, walked around, burped a little bit, and I felt like, okay, I'm fine. Put my belt back on, did my last warm-up of like 385 or whatever the hell it was. And by then, there wasn't really time to take a dump or anything. I managed to actually get to take a piss because someone let me in front of them in the line. That was pretty dope. I really appreciate it. But hey, deadlift time. My first attempt was 435. Let's see what happens. All right, here I go. At that point, I forgot to hold it at the top, and I didn't wait for the down command, and I got flagged. Then came my 475. I told the guy, hey, 475. I definitely felt like I had it. I would have, I felt like I could have still gotten 475. I still had my 500 in mind. I hadn't bitched out. I was like, come on, man, you got this shit. Come on, man, you got this. Let's go, baby. Anyways, let's see what happens here. And went for that shit. Got it like a centimeter off the ground, and it wasn't happening. See, that was basically it for me. Went for that 475. It was my second attempt on deadlift. And one, I bitched out. I approached it timid. Approached it, afraid. I didn't approach it as I normally would. I totally forgot about my ammonia caps. Wow. I had this huge plan where Chris Lovato was going to pop a cap, smell it, and then run over to me and start smacking me and shit and pop one on me so I could smell it. It was funny because, he's going to pop one just to hype me up. That was the joke. But it didn't happen. We totally forgot about those damn caps. You see other people sniffing it in some of the other videos, or in the video that I posted up, the last one, the powerlifting one. But we totally forgot about it. Like I said, 475, bitched out, entered timidly, and it just wasn't going to go up if I, being a bitch plus, just without faith in the lift. So it didn't happen. After that, I told the dude, I was like, no, I'm done. And at that point, I actually completely forgot that if you don't have any successful lifts, you don't have a total. So I technically bombed out on deadlifts. I did not have a total for this meet. I had 305, 465, 0. because I didn't complete any deadlift attempts. So that's that. That's what happened, guys. Expectations. I didn't have expectations of myself. I had my goals of what I wanted to do. You know, I wanted my 500 squat if possible, but I wanted at least a 485. I ended up with 465. I wanted my 350 bench, had to end up with 330, and I wanted 475 if I were dead, and it didn't happen. But you know, my expectations. I'm not killing myself about it. Not once have I even really thought about that powerlifting meet, except for right after the fact, and maybe now since I'm talking about it. But you know, I'm really excited and I'm happy that I did that meet because it kind of gets me pumped up to do another one. I think it'd be really fun to do another one. I learned a lot of things about powerlifting and how to do a meet technically from this time. You know, know the lifts. You know, like on the squat, you have to step back. You have to wait until he says squat. You got to squat. You got to stand up for a minute. I mean, more like 2 seconds before he says rack. And on the bench press, you have to wait until he says press. You have to wait until he says rack. A lot of people, were racking too quickly. Fortunately, I didn't have that, but my ass came off the bench. And deadlift, I would have had, a total had I stood up straight for a good 1 or 2 seconds with the 435. But as soon as I got it up, I was like, yes. Brought it down. I'm like, no, wait, stop. And by then, I couldn't hold it. I couldn't keep it up. And I didn't have a deadlift total. So that's one thing I learned. Other things I learned, if you have to dehydrate water to make your weight, I didn't dehydrate a ton of water compared to a lot of other people. I just didn't drink for from like 10 p.m. like about actually more like midnight to 4 p.m. the next day. So about 16 hours I didn't drink any water, which is nothing compared to what a lot of people do. And I didn't make up for that lost water. I didn't make up for the water that I would have drank. So that's another thing. Replenish yourself. Hell, drink some Pedialyte right after your weigh-in, or a ton of Gatorade after. Have some sort of liquid goal or liquid replenishment quantity that you're going to drink. Perhaps just drinking a lot of water isn't a solid enough of a goal. So that's one thing for next time. That's basically it. Those were my main things that I felt like I could have done better at. Just replenishing myself, water, liquid-wise, and knowing the commands. So, this video wasn't about me bitching about how bad of a first competition I had. It's more so that anyone watching this will learn something. They'll learn that if you, dehydrate water, you dehydrate yourself, replenish that shit. If you do a powerlifting meet, know the commands. And yeah, if anyone is doing a meet soon, have a lot of fun. They're a ton of fun, especially if you do it with friends. I was fortunate to do it with a bunch of my friends, the 3MJ crew, and I had a great grand time, even though I didn't make all my lifts. Had a wonderful time. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's what happened with this powerlifting meet. Maybe in the future, maybe in a video later on this week, I'll talk about some future plans. Maybe I'll talk about how I might change my program. As of right now, I'm just doing a deload week. I attempted to, keep my deadlift day regular this week, and by the time I got to 60%, after I hit a set of that, I was like, nope, deload week. So I'm finishing this week with a deload, and then I'll get back to the heavy stuff next week. So we'll see about powerlifting meets. There's one coming up, I believe, in it was, I think, July 15th or so, or maybe June 15th, 16th. We'll see. I'm not really sure if I want to do that meet or not. But then again, maybe I will. We'll see what happens, guys. I might just do it for the hell of it. I might not actually drop to the 181s. We'll see, since, bodybuilding is my main goal and powerlifting is kind of like, a fun thing to do. Good time with friends. We'll see what happens. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, hit it up on the Facebook. Peace.
Hey, quit being a little bitch! Ogus cake! Yeah, motherfucker!